Hey guys and girls, Board now back with you. On this video I will be talking about the mini-series The Staircase from HBO Max, starring Colin Firth and Toni Collette, a bunch of others as well, a really big ensemble style cast, but they're the two leads. It is of course based on the Netflix documentary. It's about Michael Peterson, who was this potential political candidate, very sort of upper class type guy. He was also a journalist at one point, who is accused of killing his wife Kathleen, who was more of like the breadwinner of the family, had a lot more type money. And the 8-part miniseries, which the final episode aired this week, obviously it starts with the night of Kathleen's death, suspected murder, where Michael is the prime suspect because he's the only one in the house seemingly at the time. It doesn't seem like there's been any like break-in, so like anyone from the outside could have killed her, but he protests his innocence. And we then sort of flash back and forth over the course of the next few years as we go to the trial. He's originally arrested for the crime, and then we go through all the various stages of appealings, retrials. The miniseries, is based on the documentary, the Netflix documentary, sense of what his family life was like and the impact this whole thing had on his family, and also some flashbacks to his relationship with Kathleen leading up to her death. We also get a sense of the media and the part they play in this, and the part which the documentary played in all this. And one thing you can say for certain coming out of this series is then the character of Michael Peterson, whether you decide that he is guilty or not guilty, he certainly comes off as very sort of arrogant, very sort of self-serving. He definitely has mood swings and potentially is dangerous, and it's debatable if he has that much of a motivation to kill his wife or not, but there certainly are secrets that are revealed throughout. Now, I think for the sake of this, because it is a new series and it's not been out very long, I won't actually reveal really any of the big reveals as we go on. Or the only thing to say is then it's very much up to you to maybe decide what exactly is the truth of the matter. Like, is he innocent? Is he guilty type thing? And that's one thing the series does really well, because even though it might make certain judgments on his character and certain other things over the course of 8 episodes, it doesn't make a judgment when it comes to, is Michael innocent or is he guilty? It definitely leaves that up to you, and it presents the two sides. And it's very satirical. It gets to the heart of exactly what a crazy, weird sort of case this was. Again, I won't go into too many details, but at one point there's a really out there conspiracy theory or theory about why Michael might actually be innocent, and that is really bizarre to watch in itself. You've got, as I said, you've got this really strong ensemble cast. Parker Posey, you see her image on the screen, is very good as always, very sort of entertaining as like one of the district attorneys who has a drinking problems. You've got a whole bunch of people in this ensemble cast. Colin Firth, I'll say, gives his best performance in years, because I think with Firth it's been a weird sort of case where ever since winning the Oscar, it's almost like he's been cursed, and his career has really sort of flitted away a bit. That Oscar sort of curse, really, where he's really struggled to get his career back on track, and this is the role to do it. I'll say he's very convincing, shallow, self-obsessed, but complex guy very well. He manages to be very, very controlling, very powerful, and yeah, at times very nerve-wracked good and very understated. It's a very strong performance from him. It's a bit of a weird one because in the first episode, his accent was very distracting because I think from what I could understand, like Peterson was maybe born in the UK but had spent a lot of his life in America, so I think he had one of those sorts of weird that flitted between the two. I wasn't convinced by the accent in the first episode, but after that I didn't really notice so much, so I don't know if it's something where they straightened it out a bit as the series went on, or maybe it just stood out more at first. And then as things went on, I got into the drama, so I didn't really notice. But no, Firth is very good. Toni Collette is reliably good. Obviously, we don't see as much of her. It's mostly in flashbacks. But it's a really strong ensemble cast. Sophie Turner out of Game of Thrones plays one of the daughters. She's very good. One of the standouts, I think, is really Odessa Young, this newer sort of actress. She plays, I think, one of the most sympathetic characters in the whole show. Again, a daughter who, there's a big reveal about her at some point, but certainly she's the most vulnerable and more sympathetic. But another thing the drama does is it does make you very sympathetic for his family, some more so than others, the way they're thrust into the spotlight and just how demanding he is of them at times, and quite sort of brittle. That family picture and what they went through and the different characters, I think that makes it easier to engage with the story because he is, as I said, at sometimes extremely unlikable and hard to watch, but it's a really compelling watch, really gripping, as I said, very well acted, but crucially, it has more to say than just your standard true to life, like crime sort of story where it's like, is he innocent, is he not? And as I said, I think they do that stuff very well. I think they got the right balance of presenting the two sides and leaving it on a knife edge and leaving you to decide. As a drama, there's a lot more themes. There's obviously a connection between him and certain members of his family with a big reveal. And as I said, the stuff about the media and the satirical side, it's not afraid to be funny at times. There's a link between his past and this case sort of thing, and there's almost a gag about like staircase murderers from the lawyer at one point, which is very sort of funny. So really good satire, strong casting, as I said, really good direction, and a lot of themes. It plays with a lot of themes, which makes it very rich, very compelling to watch, and it makes you think about these things a bit more than you otherwise would be if it was a straightforward sort of drama. And obviously, from what we can make out, or what it appears to be in this mini-series, it does seem like it's not, like it's a very bizarre true life case, than there are a lot of weird stuff going on here in the background. But I'll say just quickly that, funnily enough, the first episode didn't do much for me. It was maybe a setup episode, and it was just the basics of on the night and then the fallout, and I think it came off a bit melodramatic. It was very unlikable, but it was only then after that episode where we got more of the family stuff, because immediately in episode 2 we started to get to know the family and we could see things from their point of view, not just from Michael, really grabbing me. And I just thought, well, what's the hype really with this show? But it was from the second episode where things started developing and it became a lot more gripping, a lot more fun, and like intriguing to watch. So I will just say that it's possible if I rewatch that first episode in the knowledge of what's to come, then I might like it more. But that's just something that happened with me, where I didn't think the first episode was that great. But from episode 2 it definitely picks up, and it really hooked me from there. So I really recommend this. So I'd say go and check it out. I've not seen the Netflix documentary, so if anyone has, then do let me know what you thought of it and how it compares to this. But that's my review of The Staircase. I'll be back with more reviews soon. Like and subscribe as always. Share me out on social media, and I'll see you again soon.